All right, so what's good? I go by Digital Crates. Everybody calls me Crates, representing for HipHopSince1987.com. A big reason I've been getting into interviewing more artists because there's always a story to tell behind the scenes. For a young artist like you that's coming up in the game, there's definitely more than meets the eye. You've been on the grind heavy the past couple of years. You got 2 albums online now. TikTok going crazy, social media going crazy. So I just wanted to kind of get into what motivates you in your career and how you got started in music. But for the people that don't know you yet, maybe you could just start off and tell them your name and where you're from.
Yeah, so my name's Akintoye. I go by Akintoye. I'm based out of Toronto, Canada. Yeah, if you're looking for any bars in like the young person generation, like I know that's not a thing we're supposed to be able to do. Trying my best to be that guy. You feel me? But yeah, I'm happy to be here.
It's not that you're not supposed to do it, but definitely like bars and lyrics haven't been like the center focus of music until fairly recently. I would say in the last couple of years that bars are back. Real rap is making a return. And you got like, you're a young artist, but you got an old soul. Like you definitely incorporate a lot of, I wouldn't say old school. I'd almost call it true school, like true school elements, like 90s hip hop into what you do, which is rare for a young artist. So maybe you could just talk about how you got your start doing music and how you kind of found the style that you use.
First time I ever rapped was one of those like, you know when you're in middle school and it's the end of the year concert and they get the little kids to come out and like sing.
Mm-hmm.
So my music teacher was like, hey, we need somebody to rap this verse. Do you want to do it? And I'm like, yeah, why not? Whatever. I'll do it. I was like 10 and I went and I did it. And while I was on stage, I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever come across in my entire life. I don't know what that feeling just was, but I need that every day. I've been rapping since I was like 10. As far as like my old school influences, I kind of I didn't start dropping until I was about, I want to say 18, right around 2017. And in that time frame between like 10 and 18 years old, I just dove straight into the old school. So my influences are Big L and M for sure. You look at Big, you look at Mos Def, Andre 3K, like those are the dudes I grew up listening to and really dove into it, loved what they do. But beyond that, like a lot of my old influences nowadays are more so on the R&B side. Like I listen to a whole lot of like R&B-ish. I listen to Michael Jackson and Anita Baker and Aaliyah. Yeah, so a lot of my influences are from there. As far as like the more recent come up, I didn't start making music till 2017. For a couple of years, like I was making music, but no one aside from the people who knew me personally knew that I was a musician. And then I had done a show in the town I went to school in, and I was planning a second show, and then COVID hit. And at that point, everything got shut down. So now we were in a position where, and by we, I mean like me and the guys I work with, we were in a position where we got to figure out a way to get ears again. Because our plan was do the shows and have that, you know what I mean, get to the people. But now that was just entirely gone. I just posted a TikTok one day, threw a video up, and it was like the last day of April. It was a rap challenge going around. I just threw a video up, not thinking anything of it, just like, whatever, I'm gonna put this up, why not? And then that video just exploded and just did some stupid numbers. And I was like, oh, wait, all right, let's try this again. Posted another video. That video hit like 1 million. And I posted another one, and that one hit 1 million. And I was like, oh, wait,
crazy.
This is a thing. Like this could be okay, this is interesting. So from there, I kind of just, tried my best to work out the music I was already working on. My guys and I were working remotely. And at the same time, I was just making these TikToks and sort of treating it like I write every day already. That's just a therapeutic thing more so for me. That's just like really need music to be able to arrange the things that go on in my head. I deal with a whole lot of anxiety and my head's moving a million miles a minute. So I need rapping to be able to organize. So I figured, hey, I'm going to start putting these up on TikTok. So I started writing, in addition to my regular writing stuff to just post on TikTok. And, the story kind of played itself out from there and enough people liked it to where, people look at me and think like, oh, this is a pretty cool dude. He's a cool rapper. And they like the music. And I'm just happy to have somebody that's not just the homies liking the music.
I mean, you definitely have a signature sound and you're definitely being rewarded through your consistency. I know it's hard. I know it's hard for artists. I know that, especially not seeing the forest for the trees right now, not being able to fully tour, sell merch, and kind of live the dream, if you will. We have to kind of rewrite the book. And you kind of answered a bunch of the questions I had already just now, but I want to back up into a couple of things you said, right? So some of your influences are super, super hardcore niche lyricists, right? And maybe you can explain to me, because I'm a little older, what's that process of music discovery like for a young person? Like, do you just dive in on YouTube? Like, how did you find some of these artists?
Now in this day and age, it's way easier than it would have been otherwise to find
Oh
the
yeah.
artists. I grew up on Big. Like even when I was a kid, my dad spinning Biggie in the car. Like I was born in Nigeria and I moved to Canada in '09. But in Nigeria, I remember my dad having a Biggie CD and spinning it. Like Biggie was on rotation early growing up.
Yeah.
I got to a point where I don't remember exactly how I stumbled on Mos Def. Maybe it might have been that video of him freestyling in Brooklyn in the park. But I remember seeing it and going, wow, that's crazy. Like he is amazing. And I go through the discography and then I stumble across Talib Kweli. And then it's sort of like a snowball where you listen to one project and you hear a feature on the project and you go, yo, who's that? And then you go check out, you go to their projects and you hear a feature on their project and you go, yo, who's that? Also watching interviews, like Logic was a really, really big influence on me growing up too. And I remember he would always say Big L, and he would say Big L and Big Pun in all his interviews. And I was like, yo, who's Big L? Like, who's this dude he keeps talking about? So I went, I found Big L, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, Raw, one of the best ever.
Woo, woo. And it's sort of, and Jay-Z too. I have a cousin who put me on to Jay-Z, and Eminem was a huge influence too. And it's sort of like, when you dive into the discographies of these people, you just sort of come across other
anything else, related artists and stuff.
Or in the flow of it.
It's amazing. And then what about like what's going on right now? Is there any of your contemporaries that inspire you?
Oh, as far as artists right now, I love what Baby Keem's doing. I love what he's doing. It's so weird, and I love it. Like he's in there. Sitting in pockets that he's not supposed to sit in, and his spacing is insane. I love what Baby Keem's doing. JID,
fire.
He does. The pen game is ridiculous. Just Benny the Butcher. You know what I mean. More so these days, I'm doing a whole lot of like retrospective deep dives. Some of the other dudes nowadays that are, I mean, I love what Anderson .Paak's doing. I love him and Silk Sonic and what Bruno's doing. Cole, obviously, Kendrick, like those. Those three are the Mount Rushmore.
I mean, that's quite a list. Yeah, I mean, it's like like I was saying in the beginning of the interview, like rap is coming back, like bars is back, but not just rap, it's like style, swag is a real thing. And you definitely have like a different energy. I always venture to say like there's mainstream in there, a little bit of rock and roll. Like you got songs like Overload, like stuff that's like real, like almost pop rock mainstream. Like where does all that come from? And when you're like writing and you're picking beats, like what's the creative process like? How do you figure out which way to go on each track or how you want to represent yourself?
Also, thanks for mentioning songs like Overload and like noticing the influence for it. That's awesome. I say we a lot, and when I say we, I'm talking about one of my best friends. His name's Dan Vuko, and he handles most of my production. And Dan's influences actually aren't rooted in hip hop. His influences are more so rock and sort of that type of music. My influences are hip hop, a little bit of funk, you know what I mean, soul. That's what I like. So when he's producing and getting into that bag, him and I have a lot of conversations where we're like, hey man, look, like yeah, trap beats are cool and all, but like I need something else, bro. Like I need something else. I need something that's just, and we try to get as weird as we could get. So when I'm listening to beats and trying to figure out which ones I'm gonna slide on, I'm typically listening for, is this different? How different is this? And will I still be able to be a hip hop artist?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it'd be very easy to just sort of switch genres, but I'm not looking to switch genres. I'm looking to bend genres.
Because I wouldn't just say that you're a rapper. You're definitely an artist, that can probably do whatever you want. And, you especially on social media, you do so many different things. It's rap, it's performance art, it's comedy. What would you say? Like, I know you said it was like one TikTok here, one TikTok there, and it started booming, but how long did it take you to really get your stride? And what is like the process like? Do you like record the song before you record the video and then edit it together? Like, what's the TikTok process look like?
So I posted the first few videos in that summer of 2020. Like I had a couple that did well, and then there was a little bit of a lull for a little bit. So I want to say by the end of the year, I had gone up to like 100,000 plus followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then summer 2021 came around, and I just finished up school, and I was like, all right, I'm back at my parents' house. I ain't got nothing to do. I ain't got no job. I'm kind of broke. I'm literally just sitting here and I'm like, all right, like I have time. I'm
Yeah.
going to do video every single day. So I decided I would just literally wake up and like I'm in my room right now. Like this space is where I do all my creation. All my TikTok recording is literally at this desk in this literal box that you're seeing right
Yeah.
now. And my bed's right over there. And I would just go to bed, wake up, start writing, record. And typically I'll track the audio first and get the audio as nice as I can get it to be. Because that's the most important part is the music itself. So I make sure the music is good. Then I figure everything else out based around what the music itself is actually feeling and sounding like. I typically just set my phone up against early on. I didn't have, now I got a ring light and I got all this stuff.
Yeah.
Early on, I literally would just get like a little folding table and stack some shoe boxes up and just lean the phone against the shoe boxes. And I was like,
Yeah.
He's gonna have to work and like set the mic up and rap. But now it's a little bit more of a smoother setup. I got my little phone stand and all the stuff I got going on over here, like all the basic TikTok boy tools I needed. So that's sort of the process. And then as far as like editing the videos, I do that myself on my phone. Like all the TikTok stuff, I really just sort of do myself. And after a while, you sort of figure out a stride and you start to figure out a process and you start to get with it. So I was figuring out this process last summer, like summer 2021. And then I had a stretch where I just had a whole bunch of videos back to back do great. And I started to catch my stride, get in that mode. And that's when the followership shot up. That's when people started realizing, oh wait, this is a cool dude. Like he's doing some dope stuff over here. Let's see what he's talking about. The numbers started going up. My favorite thing is that you could actually see some spillover from the TikTok to the Spotify. Cause I know it's very categorized as a TikTok rapper, but I think I've done a good enough job of separating the two to where if you go listen to my actual music, you realize, oh wait, he's in his bag. Like he rapping. Yeah. Whereas you could go to TikTok and be like, oh, this is cool. He's just showing his personality here. Like that's really, really awesome. But if you want to hear me get in that bag, you can also go to Spotify and watch me get in that.
Yeah. So why do you think there is a divide like that? Like it's like I would never label somebody as this. I think labeling or pigeonholing an artist is the worst thing you can do. But I'm just wondering where that divide comes from. Maybe again because I'm a little older. But do the young people not go on Twitter? Do young people not use Instagram anymore? It's like it's like your numbers on TikTok is crazy, and then you look at some of the other social media, and it's kind of growing. It's definitely. It's getting there, like I've seen your Instagram now starting to boom. YouTube Shorts, I see your YouTube starting to boom a little bit using that format. So it's like, where do you think that divide comes from?
The thing with social media platforms in general, and especially the social media platforms that we're using as sort of vessels for entertainment, you will see a tiny bit of spillover from platform to platform, but everybody sort of uses different platforms as their main platform. If you looked at demographics, you'd probably be able to break it down into like, people of a certain age are leaning more towards TikTok than they are towards Instagram. Like, and I feel like TikTok's probably the most booming platform right now, but you start to see like, there's this weird, like young people are going to TikTok, older people are going to Instagram and the Facebooks and the Twitter. And I feel like it's more of an age separation situation than it is anything else.
It's like, I hear what you're saying. Like, I feel like it's like almost like you have to build your following separately on each one. Like you can't expect a TikTok follower to just automatically become a Twitter follower. And it's like I think have the potential to, and you already are getting that spillover. You're building following all over the place. So maybe in your own words, you could talk about like what separates you as some of these quote unquote TikTok artists.
I think the biggest thing that separates me is I'm looking for longevity before everything else. I always prioritize quality over everything else. I think yeah, the quick numbers is nice and all that stuff, but especially in this day and age, you could be gone just as quickly as you came in. So I'd much rather be in a position where I'm playing the long game and playing the long grind, because people who grinded with you in the long run are going to stick around in the long. Those are the people who see you for a couple weeks at a time, a couple months at a time, and then when they start to get bored of you, they'll throw you out just that quickly. So I think the biggest thing that separates me is I'm really looking for longevity before anything else. And I think I'm very willing to almost die on the hill of longevity. It's to a point where, people are like, we're over you. Stop. We don't care no more. All right. I can look at it like at least I went about it the way that felt the most natural and the most honest to me.
Yeah, I feel like that is one thing though about building a following on social media is like then now you kind of have more options. So like if people follow you just because you rap, it's like, okay, now you're kind of stuck in this hole where you have to like rap forever. But you seem more to me like an entertainer, an artist and entertainer. Maybe you could talk about what could be potentially next, jumping off this platform more into big time? What's some, future goals you have to use this as like a launching platform?
The biggest goal is always going to be the music. I want to make projects that last 20, 30 years. I want to make an album that people look at on the same level as To Pimp a Butterfly. That is my goal my biggest goal is just as an artist in general. But beyond that, if you had asked me this question 2 years ago, I would have been like, nothing, just the music. But like a lot has changed years. I've started to realize, like the lanes that may also exist for me to do a bunch of stuff. So like I've starting to get into some voice acting stuff and just general acting job, writing, getting into that realm a little bit more, whether it's, script writing, just general writing, starting to get into that space. I have a whole lot of more tangible things I want to do as far as community work. I have a whole lot of stuff that I want to actually get off the ground, not just in the community that I live in, like up north, but sort of as far as I can allow it to stretch. I feel like there's sort of no point in having a platform if I can't turn it into something that benefits somebody that's not me. And like, I'm not saying I won't reap any benefits off the platform. I mean, I'm reaping some right now, but at the end of the day, like there has to be something more. So I'm looking I haven't found exactly what it is yet, but I have a couple ideas as far as, building the platform and then using the size of the platform to then direct people to actually dedicate that energy to things that make tangible changes. And like the TikTok Trailblazer list is one of the examples of how I'm trying to do that too. Like when people pop in and go, yo, who is this dude? What's going on? They're not just going to show up to the page and see some jokes. They're going to show up and see, oh, wait, like he actually cares about some stuff. Some of the verses that don't blow up as much as the other ones, like I'm not into the whole post and then because it wasn't big, delete it. I'm more of a post it and people aren't rocking with it. But I believe in what the message of what was said. I'm leaving it up. So when people show up and if they're really, really doing a deep dive and going through, they're going to see, oh, wait, there's things going on here besides, the laughs and the jokes and the high energy, fast paced raps. And they're going to see that there's actual stuff going on. But yeah, my long-term goal is to turn the platform into something tangible, something that can actually tangibly affect people's lives beyond, the usual entertainment that I may be able to provide.
Yeah. And as far as music goes, you got 2 albums online now. Vertigo, Centerpiece Freestyle is crazy. The video is crazy. I see what you're saying about being like thematic with your music. It's like definitely a message. Like it's like you're not just rapping to rap. There's definitely something deeper going on there. What can the people expect from you coming soon? Like I know you got Respectfully out now, a newer song, but like what's coming down the pipeline 2022 musically speaking?
So 2022, I dropped Centerpiece July 23rd, and I've really only dropped 2 songs since July 23rd. And in that time frame, I haven't just been chilling. I've been working on probably my best project to date, the most well thought out project. I've put so many hours into this project. In the coming weeks, there's going to be something from this project coming out. I haven't announced it yet officially, but in the coming weeks, there is something I'm very, very proud of coming through. And then over the course of the next couple of months, I will be leading up to this project that I put so much time and so much effort and so much work into. And like you were saying, like as far as there's themes and thematically, this is probably the most grandiose thing I've done thematically, as far as it really being a concept project, a concept album. There's a whole lot of music on the way. I know it's been a minute since I dropped consistently, but there's a whole lot of music on the way, not just in the next couple of weeks, but consistently over the next couple of months.
Yeah, well, we know you're not slacking off. I see you cooking every day, every challenge, jumping on the duets. I mean, you got to really give it up to TikTok, not just for featuring you in this campaign, but just as a collaborative platform. It's so incredible that during a time like this in the world, you can literally reach out and connect with somebody musically and provide entertainment for people who aren't musical. You've definitely been doing it. You've been through a lot. Is there like any advice you could give to like some of these young creatives that are out there trying to get to like the point you're at right now?
There's 2 pieces of advice. Like the first one is identify what your intentions are going into this, because it's very easy to go in, not know where you're going, and to kind of figure it out on the fly.
Yeah.
I say identify what your intentions are. And as long as you have your intentions identified, navigating it becomes infinitely easier. If you're somebody who's looking to, go long run and build a dedicated fan base to whatever particular type of content you're making, You got to know that that's what's going on. If you're somebody who's like, yeah, I just want to get some followers real quick so I could go do some stuff and be in and out, make some money and get to this bread, and I don't really care about anything else, that's totally fine. You just got to know that that's what you're trying to do. So the first one is identify your intentions. The second one is don't worry about what everybody else got to say about what you what you posted. Sort of the biggest barrier I realize a lot of people face is external validation for this thing that they're about to put up. And that kills a whole lot of people's confidence even going into it. If you're posting content and you're like, oh, I don't know if people really like this, but you really like it, keep posting it because there's somebody else out there that really, really likes what you do just as much as you like it. And they just haven't heard about it yet. And if there's one, there's a million.
That's true.
So you just got to keep doing what you're doing, keep your head down, focus, grind, stay focused on your intentions. You got to make sure you know what your intentions are going into this thing. And beyond that, sky's the limit for real.
Yeah, because I know user 692524 sure gonna cut you up or roast you with no pictures or no videos themselves. Like TikTok, I've found out of most social media, I wouldn't say it's the most haters, but people are quick to roast you on there. And you got to just really keep your head down, keep creating, don't think twice about it. I just get in and start joking with these people because at the end of the day, like I'm from Philly, so we roast each other. That's what we do. It's no shade, it's no hate. It's just it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Especially when it comes to like the like in general, people are gonna say whatever they want to say. Like as an artist, it's so different. The reason a lot of artists are so sensitive to their music and how it's portrayed is that for somebody else it's a product, but for us this is our life. Like you sit down and you put 40, 50, 60 hours into a song and you put it out, and a random dude on the internet could just be like, this is whack, this is so hard, this is the worst thing I ever heard in my life. And now you got to see that. And that's why a lot of artists are so like, you know, tender, like almost protecting the music. Like, no,
you're supposed to have fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you're supposed to, and like, yeah, there's going to be people who hate it. Like, that's just, it is what it is. There's going to be people who actually hate it. And then people who hate it for the sake of hating. Like some people just wake up and go, how could I say something mean to somebody today? And at the end of the day, like all those people who got something to say about you and they don't know you and it really, really burns them, I feel like that's indicative of the fact that they got some bigger stuff going on in their life that they got to figure out, and it has nothing to do with me. So that's why I don't take any of the hate comments personally. I'm also a very petty person, so like I'm not the type of dude that you can just say whatever to, and I'm not gonna say something back. Like, I'm gonna say something back. So I like having fun with it. I'll get a comment and somebody will say something crazy about me, and I'll just come up with a verse clowning them, like, you know what I mean?
Right back,
It's fun. It's a banter. It almost feels like a give and take.
So a couple of funny things before we wrap, right? So I'm scrolling through, you know, reels on Instagram, TikTok, just like any other consumer. Even though I'm a creative, I consume. And you have a sound that so many people have used. And I'm sure you know what I'm going to talk about. But where did the bitch I'm broke? Where did that come from? And how do you feel with so many people using something that's so silly and so funny like that?
So bitch I'm broke was funny because so every time I post, I never know for sure like what people are gonna buy. Like I just never know. Like I always pride myself on just I'm gonna make something that I think is dope and I'm gonna put it out and whatever happens. That was one of those moments where like I wasn't getting paid for I was making a lot of content and the followership was going up and I had like no money in my account. Like to the point where I was broke, bro. Like like I'm going to take the subway and I gotta like really contemplate like can I put this $12 on my subway card right now before I like, you know what I mean? Like I'm really thinking.
Don't ask me to go nowhere.
There was a stretch for everybody was just like, yeah, because the restrictions like loosen up a little bit. Everybody's like, yeah, we going here and we going here, we doing that, and I was like, bro, stop inviting me to things. I don't have the money, bro. Like I can't. Like I'm not. I just like it would hurt my soul to go ask my dad to be like, hey dad, could you send me like $60 so I could like go to this whatever event. Like it just I was like, stop asking me to go places, bro. Do it. I'm gonna think about it and I'm gonna look at my account and I'm gonna feel bad. I'm gonna change my mind. I'm just not gonna do it. Like stop asking me to
crazy. And that's an anthem. That became a pandemic anthem. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's everywhere, but it's so true to life. One last question, right? So you're wearing the hat right now, but normally we see you in the bonnet. Where did that come from? How did the bonnet start? Like, what's the story there?
So funny enough, I feel like a lot of people think that it's like a marketing thing. Like I was like, no, yeah, that's how I'm gonna shake it up. Okay, so COVID hit. and I couldn't get a haircut because the barbershops are closed. I
Mm,
had waves at the start of the pandemic. I had a like a 1.5 with some waves. So I was like,
yeah.
my hair was growing, bro. I had a lot of hair. And I was like, I can't just lay my head on this pillow with nothing else.
Yeah.
I was struggling. I was trying to figure out what to do with my hair. My mom one day was like, here, and just gave me one of her bonnets. She was like,
Yeah.
I was like, bet. Because I used to have do-rags, but I couldn't keep wearing do-rags on my hair was looking long. So I just threw it on. And then it started appearing in the TikToks because in that process of me like getting out of bed and writing and recording, I would just do it in one go. Like it was just however I looked when I woke up is the exact same way I look.
No, and that's what I get from it. I get like, okay, this guy's really on the grind. He's really waking up and getting right to creating, not necessarily consuming, getting right to creating. Forget what I look like, forget what's going on in the world. Like, I'm gonna get these raps off. And everyone here at Hip Hop Since 87, myself included, we respect you for that. Like, thank you for being such a consistent creator. It's definitely, the world needs it. They need a laugh. They need these bars. The game needs these bars. You know what I mean? And I really hope over the next couple of years your career really takes off. I could see you hosting Saturday Night Live one day and performing and going crazy. Like, I see big things for you coming, man. So many blessings coming your way. I feel it.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate the kind words for real. Thank you.
And before we wrap up, I don't know if you got any last words, any shout outs, anybody you want to thank, like, even your fans, anything you want to shout out or say, like, the floor is yours.
Shout out to all the people who engage the content